never mind. Okay, I think we are live. Okay, so for those who are seeing us loud and clear, just give me a hi and comment. Let me just refresh. Let me refresh. Okay. Okay, I see myself live. Wait, let me hear my voice. Just give me a hi and comment. Okay. Okay, I'm live already. So now, right, today I'm with Mr. Law. When I pronounce it correctly, L.A. Law, right?
Yes.
Mr. Law. And he is an expert in E-invoice, okay? And let me introduce him first. Okay, so he's the managing director of a Mysoft Corporation, and he's an expert in developing systems. In fact, why I came to Mr. Law is because my own accounting system is using his software. We've been using for quite a number of years, but I myself, I don't do the account, so it's other people who do it. But then I managed to meet Mr. Law, and then he was so nice to say, okay lah, e-commerce, everybody panicking, right? Okay, don't worry, okay, he will come here and explain to us lah. Okay, so wait, let me see and let the people come in for a while. Okay, so for those of you, right, who are seeing us loud and clear, just say hi. And now, okay, never mind. Okay, so any questions of you guys who have on e-invoice or want to ask, okay, faster, share to your friends, okay, ask them come in. So now, just wait for 2 minutes. Let's chit chat a bit first while the viewers are coming in. I'm sharing to everybody first. Okay, just maybe while waiting, right, can you just share with us, Mr. Law, it's like, how did you become so expert in this? Because I know that everywhere, like you told me that Ipoh, you did a seminar, everybody inviting you to do the e-invoice seminar. How do you become like the expert and so knowledgeable about e-invoice?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Actually, I involved e-invoice. Started with Singapore. Singapore started e-invoice is, I think, at least 5 years, 6 years already. Yeah, more than that. So the e-invoice concept, in fact, is the IT. You see, it's not the audit and account. E-invoice concept is a business-to-business transaction where we can submit our document to our customer digital. Yeah, because structural data through a service provider. So the idea of the e-invoice, it actually nothing to do with the LHDN, or the tax. E-invoice initial idea is business to business share the document. So that's make the transaction efficient. So Singapore started e-invoice 6 years ago and give a lot of grant for SME in Singapore to initiate this e-invoice process. Yeah, you can get a lot of money in Singapore. I'm selling our software in Singapore. So because of that, we also involve e-invoice in Singapore. But before look at the Singapore, there's a lot of country running e-invoice, even more than 20 years already. Even the Indonesia also got e-invoice. I visit one factory, my client in Bandung. Yeah, they already issue e-invoice submit. Yeah. You look at Malaysia, we are just start a new invoice or not? In fact, it's not. If you do the export, we have called e-dagang, where we have to submit our invoice to the Royal Custom for the export clearance. That also part of the e-invoice. Yeah. So the scope of e-invoice is very big. So how I expect in the sense, because we are the software house. E-invoice actually is a software subject, where we need to develop the application and communicate with service provider through the ISDN in this instance to share the document, go up and upload. Then we involve. And then we are the programmer. Yeah, we are software hardware programmer. We have to develop that technology to do this. That's what compare with like, for example, auditor or tax agent, where they look at the guideline, where for us, we are the developer. Yeah, because we develop the thing, just like if we develop the engine, of course we know the car very well, is it not?
Okay, so means that you develop the program for your Mysoft, and then that's why you're very well versed in
we developed the software for Singapore e-invoice. Now we develop the e-invoice for Malaysia.
Okay. Miss Singapore have been very long lah. Malaysia just started lah. That's why we all kelam kabut
But
lah.
Singapore is different. Singapore e-invoice is not for income tax. They're going to income tax soon, but not. They are purely for business exchange document, so that when I issue the invoice to my customer automatically receive the invoice in their accounting system without rekey in. That is for efficiency.
Okay. Well, okay. But then now, right? Okay, everybody who is listening here, right? Most of my followers are in e-commerce business. So either they have their own website or most of them are on Lazada, Shopee, and TikTok. So right now, right? Anybody who is listening, you better ask anything. This is live, okay? Ask anything you want about e-invoice. Okay, I tell you, there's a few scenarios of a lot of sellers panic and call me. Okay, there's number one scenario is they already know what is e-invoice. They already have their TIN number, but then they don't know what to do. Okay, the second scenario is the worst one. It's like all along they've been selling on Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, but they never report, or they report cincai the income. And then the third one even worse, don't even have TIN number. Where to find TIN number also don't know. Okay, so maybe today we will concentrate on number one and number two, that they know about e-invoice, but they blah what to do. And then the second one is that they didn't report 100% cantik. So what to do now? Okay. Okay. Wait lah. Any questions that you guys have, you better ask. Okay. Let me have a look at the questions that are coming in. Okay. So those that are here, wait lah. I share to some of my friends. So anyway, right, I just want to inform, right, that now Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, if you do not have a TIN number that you updated, they're gonna ban the accounts already. So that's why without tax number, cannot do business. So for last time, I know that a lot of foreigners actually they are here, that they just simply do, or some use the IC. Okay, maybe so now give us advice. We start with a simple question. Those that have using IC, okay, bank into personal account, but their sales are like more than like 30,000 per month. So do you think it's safe or not?
You see, we come back to here talking about the e-invoice. You see, now when RSDN involved, because there's the first e-invoice in Malaysia is under the MDAX. So the Multimedia Digital Corporation, they also, like Singapore, want to promote e-invoice for the efficiency in business. First thing. So ISDN come in. In fact, before ISDN come in, Royal Customer also talked to me 3-4 years ago. Say how to solve the problem of GST is come back. At that time, I also write a proposal to Royal Customer and propose to MOF how to use the e-invoice for the tracking of GST. So you see, you look at here again, why ISDN want to implement e-invoice in Malaysia, while MTech also implement, because they want to track those not paying income tax. Not many countries. Most of the country, when we look at like India or China or Taiwan or Japan, Australia, many countries, they use the e-invoice for the GST purpose. GST input tax, output tax, easy to reconcile. But income tax is a bit difficult because income tax, we are tax based on profit. But yet, RSDA want to try to use the e-invoice as a mechanism to track your income and expenses. So we look at the guideline, the main thing they talk about this. E-invoice means to track your income and your expenses. And when we are talking about expenses, it's not we submit the expenses to RSDN. Actually, it's our supplier is the one submit. So when a supplier submit e-invoice to RSDN, RSDN will know our income. So come back to the e-commerce. We talk about Lazada, for example. The mechanism a bit different, because if I sell item to the Lazada, actually Lazada the one is issue invoice to customer. So I'm the one selling to Lazada. But I don't know how much I'm going to bill Lazada because Lazada will give a lot of plan, commission, minus here, minus there, right? So every month is different, give you a figure. So I become an agent in that sense of Lazada. And Lazada is the one sell to end user. Lazada will give me the income. So when Lazada give me income, they are fall in this e-invoice category called sale bill. Just like property agent, same thing, sale bill. So Lazada will issue e-invoice to me. Yeah. Just like the Grab also the same thing. Grab Food also the same thing. Or Booking.com now also the same thing. They will issue the sale bill invoice to me. And that is what ISDN want. Because if I look at 3-4 months ago, ISDN have what they call a press. Yeah, talk about, I'm not sure you know about it. He said we have 60,000 of e-commerce business in Malaysia where they don't pay the income tax accordingly. And how they know about this? Because they're from the bill from the e-commerce, and they collected about 400 million of sale bill invoice. A lot, am I? Sale bill invoice. So now you look at here, from ISDN point of view, they want to know whether your sales exceed 500,000 or 300,000. They don't ask you. Yeah. Now they're based on their sale bill record submitted by the Lazada or the e-commerce, and they easily will find out this because all the data will submit to the database server ISDN called My Invoice Portal. And My Invoice Portal is supported by Microsoft. They built in a lot of AI inside. So the system actually can have a query. Query means I can ask the system, let's say I'm an officer ISDN, they can ask the system, list out those more than 30,000 a month, yet they didn't submit income tax for the last 3 years, for example. Automatic, they will list out. Because when Lazada do the sale bill submit to ISDN, your name and your TIN number is there. All right. Many questions ask me a question also, many clients, he say, hey, what happened? My customer don't give me a TIN number. How to issue invoice to them? You see? So Lazada now, you see, if that's the case, because Lazada, of course, they have to protect themselves. They have to issue invoice, they have to follow. Of course, they request TIN number from you. In fact, it's like that. For Lazada to do the e-invoice, if you're business, you need a business registration number and TIN number. TIN number, in fact, they can find out. Just like in my software, now, if you don't keep the TIN number, our program automatically find out a TIN number for you. Yeah, because ISDN released the API for us to search for that. So the important is business registration number. Business name not important because there's a lot of duplication in company name. Even your personal name also a lot of duplication one, am I right? So so now important. IC become important. So for Malaysian, IC is important. And for the foreigner, TIN number and passport is important. Yeah, foreigner. Because if you are as a merchant in e-commerce, that means you are business. You got business income. So once you have the business income in Malaysia, you need to pay income tax. Am I right? So the TIN number here could be a business TIN number, could be a personal TIN number. That means as long as you pay income tax, even you don't own a business, you still got a TIN number. So come back to here, you're talking about 30,000 here. So now you look at the e-commerce. If I do business to Lazada, it's not when I need to issue e-invoice. Yeah, you don't have the chance already. Because Lazada is the issue invoice to client. Lazada will give you the sale bill. That is your income. Lazada expenses and your income. Yeah. So that is the sale bill. Once the sale bill go to RSDN already know your income. They already know your income. So you don't have to issue invoice. So now is what's the threshold? I need to issue invoice. Don't you think from e-commerce point of view, you don't issue invoice, they already know your income already.
So means they know everything, how much you make.
So you have to think. Let's say my business only, part-time, only 20,000 a year. They also know my invoice already. They also know my income already. If I do through e-commerce, if I sell something to my neighbor, of course nobody will know. Am I right? I take a cash, nobody know. If I sell something to my neighbor, I use e-wallet. Somehow they also will know. From Bank Negara also, they will know they collect the money.
Now e-wallet also they will track the TIN number and
I
everything.
tell you, if they no need TIN number, because e-wallet you got the telephone number in order to register, so they know who you are, so they know what is your income if they want. Now you have the thing from this digital world, you know what I mean? You look at the scammer, know so much about you, can scam you, am I right? You thought the Iceland government don't know your info, man. Of course, they easily to know this info. This kind of thing is like that. Two things come in. One is digitalization, one is AI. When this come in, the point is whether I want to do ISDN or the whole thing of the invoice here is not your business efficiency. It's talking about income tax only, am I right?
Okay,
so
now I got the situation,
yes.
right? I have a question for you, Mr. Lau. Okay, the situation is very people are confused. You know, now the government keep changing, 500,000 invoice delay on maybe no need to do, and then don't know above what's the threshold. But then for us e-commerce, right, very different, right? Because let's say if you sell to for us we need to deduct the commission fee lah, shipping fee lah, what fee lah, then we will get a net value. So roughly it will be around 16%. So let's say 100 ringgit we will get minus 16 will be 84 will bank into our bank account. So the bank account is considered the value, or is it the one that the 100 ringgit what we on the system it show that you sold 100 ringgit worth of goods. So what is considered income in this sense for e-invoice?
You see, you look at here, we are talking about income. We look at the total invoice you are. Of course, in accounting is more complicated. Sometimes you are not recognize your invoice yet. Yeah. So there's a lot of factors, but make it simple is like that. Total invoice from your company out, that is your income. Total invoice. Yeah. Then profit is minus of cost of goods sold and expenses. So now you look at the e-commerce, you need to identify is who issued the invoice. If I sell to Lazada or Grab, Grab is the one issue the invoice. So if the Grab issue the invoice, my income is how much Grab pay me from their sale bill. How much I need to bill Grab in that sense. Let's say the item is 100 ringgit. I'm going to bill Grab 80%. Yeah, because 20% is Grab profit. That 80 ringgit is my income.
So Shopee, Lazada, TikTok, let's say 80 ringgit, they bank it to us. So
that is your income. That's your income.
Bank in is income, okay? Not the
yes, you see, by right, it's like that. If they bank in 80 ringgit to your account, you mean you have to issue invoice 80 ringgit to them. So the invoice is fully paid, am I right? You issue. But if you don't issue the 80 ringgit invoice to them, they issue the sale bill to you. Sale bill to you. That's why sale bill is very interesting in invoice mechanism. In Singapore, business to business, there's no sale bill. But income tax create a sale bill. Why? Because they want somebody to record somebody income. Let's say I landlord, I rent a property from a retired old man. You see, he won't issue me invoice. The government say, okay, like that. Then you issue the sale bill. Because once you issue the sale bill, government will know the income of this old man. So he want the supplier want to issue the bill instead of customer. Yeah, by right is Lazada pay me, I bill Lazada. But what happened is I'm a small business. I not have a company, I don't issue invoice. How the government know my income? So government will think, smarter way is call Lazada do a sale bill. So you talk about the threshold, not so important, you see not? Because in the business, I'm purely from accounting point of view and tax point of view. Tax point of view is like that. If you have generate a business of 100,000, you also have to report. Doesn't mean you have to pay income tax because they look at the profit, but you have to report. Right? You have to report your income. You have to register. So what happens?
Lose money also have to report. Lose money also have to report.
Also a report, Okay. Now is who report this to ISDN? Lazada, So you think, let's say I only do 100,000 sales a year. Would government know how much I earn from e-commerce 100,000 or not? Of course they know, because Lazada will do the sale bill and submit to ISDN. So the threshold for e-commerce is different from a pasar malam already. Because pasar malam is based on the 100,000 threshold of 2022, threshold of 500,000, I start to issue invoice. Means I have to issue invoice. Below, if I don't issue, my customer cannot sue me or complain to me, cannot. Because legally, I don't have to. And my normal receipt or normal invoice is valid for them as their expenses.
No, Mr.
So
Law,
it's okay.
Mr. Law, no, I think you need to explain to them, right? The 500,000 threshold is based on which date? Because everybody
based
thought
on 2022. Okay, let's say your business start before 2022. Let's say 10 years, 5 years ago, you start your business. The 500,000 is based on 2022 financial year account. Yeah. So let's say your business only from this year, you don't have a 2022 account, you're going to start 2027 already. Yeah. It's like that. So if your business got the 2022 account, then you have to start to issue the e-invoice. But I try to say, for e-commerce, if you want to do e-commerce, actually because the bill is not from you, the bill is from the Lazada, is the one issue invoice out. Am I right? So 500,000 actually is not so important in this case. You have to think, not so important. If your business 100,000, you pay income tax, fine. If you have 100,000 of sales a year, you don't pay income tax. Government also know because they know you have 100,000 of income already. You see, from business point of view, this e-invoice is what? Is government want to track. Government want to track your income tax. That's all, am I right? You agree on Ms. Ong? Ms. Gong, you just want to track your income tax. So the threshold only apply for the small trader in the street because government don't know their income and expenses. Yeah. So they say, hey, you have to start to issue invoice, start to do this, do that, so that they know your income. But e-commerce is different. E-commerce, there's two tracking. Government know your income and expenses or your cost of goods sold purchase. For example, if I buy item from a wholesale will give me e-invoice. Regardless, I have 500,000 turnover or not. He will give me the e-invoice. Yeah. A lot of new rules will start coming in like that. For example, last week, government said more than 10,000, you must issue e-invoice out also. Every item, let's say I'm selling sofa more than 10,000, I forced to issue invoice, whether customer want it or not. Before, it's like this. I issue invoice to business. Consumer is based on customer request. If a customer don't request invoice, I don't need to issue invoice. Yeah. But last week, they have changed the rules. Last week, ISDN said, as long as your sales more than 10,000, you have to issue invoice. You have to issue e-invoice. Yeah. So they are not track you, they are track the purchaser. They want to track how come your customer got money to buy things, no money to pay income tax. That's the thing. So
what means whatever you buy also will kena. Let's say those
they want to track the buyer, They want to track the buyer.
So let's say you say no money, right? And then say rugi, right? But then buy iPhone.
You buy an iPhone, you buy anything massage chair more than 10,000, government immediately will know.
Straight away they know.
Because they have to issue e-invoice, So my advice is like this. You see, I never so worried about 500,000, 300,000. Actually, that's not so important. Because two things I can explain to you. E-invoice, the whole mechanism, you need to finish at least 3-4 years. Yeah. Within first year, second year, not so easy to gather all the info. Third year, a lot of information they know already. So as long as you pay income tax, you do business, you pay income tax, you do a proper, then nothing to worry about the e-invoice thing.
Okay, there's a question. Can you see on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, Lazada, Shopee, TikTok will submit e-invoicing regardless the company yearly revenue is less than 500,000. Is it?
Of course lah. They don't, you see, the big system is like that. No? Once they program, they don't bother you, automatic send out. Because they no time to keep asking you, ma. Hey, your business, this month not check, next month I do. You got Lazada programmer because we are the software house. You see, we know, software write a program, make it straightforward. You see, the program, they have maybe 300,000 merchant, 400,000 merchant. You got the software so easy to every month ask you, hey, whether your threshold you reach or not, should I give you an invoice? Of course, they won't do that. I mean, practical point of view.
Yeah? So don't care you how much sales also. Lazada, Shopee issued e-invoice to everybody that is selling inside the system, every single seller. Correct?
Yes.
Because
if you talk about guideline, if you look at a guideline, let's say I'm a property agent. I have to do the sale bill to all my sub-agent. If I insurance, I have to do the sale bill to my insurance agent, regardless of turnover. So you see, the rule didn't say that 500,000 above receive the e-invoice. No. Now you are receiving an e-invoice from Lazada, so that government will know what is your income. So Lazada, of course, just issue invoice out, man. Nothing difficult for them also. After all, they pay you. So from the payment to you, they convert to invoice, submit to government. So put it this way, All the e-commerce actually is submit the payment to you to our government.
Means they help you tell the government how much your sales is.
Yes. Because there's a whole mechanism of e-invoice. When I start talk to officer many years ago, HQ, ISDN here, they said their objective is you don't have to fill in your borang B, because all your supplier will fill in the borang B for you. Am I right? For the tax deduction, company will fill in what is your income. Property, you rent out the property, the tenant will fill in how much your rental income, for example. Am I right? You do e-commerce, the e-commerce will fill in how much your income. You buy a handphone, the supplier will fill in your tax deduction for you. You go to hospital, they give you the e-invoice, they minus the tax deduction for you. So the borang bill will automatic ready without you is the one fill in. Then that is accurate from their point of view.
Okay, got another question. We do not need to do anything, right? Let Lazada, Shopee, TikTok send the invoices. I think we need to do is about the expenses. Just now I was telling Mr. Law, right, that inside our system, right, under invoices there is a commission fee lah, shipping fee lah, ads fee lah. Everything there is in the invoice already. So sellers technically need to go in and download. But then now my question to Mr. Law is, right, now with all the commission fee lah, shipping fee lah, ads fee, e-invoice that the Lazada, Shopee, TikTok give us, what do we do with it? We must submit, tell the government within 30 days, or just download and keep?
No. You see, sale bill means when Lazada.
No, this is not sale bill. The commission fee is expenses. So it is an e-invoice Lazada issue to seller.
Oh, actually, no need. Actually, you see, the commission fee actually is like this. Let's say I'm selling durian. Yeah, I'm selling durian through e-commerce. Lazada will give me my income. Their sale bill is my income. Okay, my expenses now you don't worry about the fees anymore, because what I collected is the net already. Yeah. Net income from Lazada, let's say 5,000 this month, 5,000 money fund. But the durian, I need to buy the durian from a farmer. You see, at that one, the farmer don't give you e-invoice, This uncle from the farm don't give me the invoice. What to do? I have to declare my expenses. I have to do a sale bill. I have to do the sale bill to this uncle as my cost of goods sold, as my
Okay,
cost.
what if it's like I have a legit, okay, there's two situations here that e-commerce sellers are now facing. One is they have a legit supplier from Malaysia that will issue e-invoice from them. Second one, most of them, I would say 70% of the people listening here, they're actually buying from China. So, and then they're using Taiko or whatever lah. Okay, there's no like a Malaysian company one.
Yes.
So, okay, these two situations, what will happen?
This will happen is like this, you have to do sale bill also. No? All the imported goods, you have to do the sale bill. Why? Because the China will not submit your purchase to a government. You see not? There's a lot of tracking, e-invoice. One of the reasons they want you to do the sale bill for those imported goods, because they want to check against the custom. They don't want, I import 100,000 from China, and in custom, I under-declare 50,000 only. That's why issue also is here. So
everybody, like a lot of people under-declare, I think last time.
So how to make sure, if you are the officer, you see, when I talk to officer, I talk to the head of GST, always ask me a lot of questions. He say, if you are the software house, how do you settle this issue? You see, because they have their problem. You see, so a lot of people, how to avoid the tax lah, sell tax lah, price transfer lah, all of macam-macam. So they, from officer point of view, they also visit many countries. Look at how other countries overcome this problem. Yeah. So come back to here. If I, the merchant, I import you see, my income, you don't have to declare. Government will know already because Lazada declared for me. Okay. So if I don't want to put my expenses in, my tax will go up. Because the income tax is based on profit, not based on sales. So what happens is, if I sell my durian 5,000 a month, government want to tax me, I have to make sure my cost of goods sold, my buying of the durian is 4,000. So that my profit become 1,000. Okay? 1,000, then I pay income tax 15% of 1,000. But how to prove my purchase of durian is 4,000?
You need to invoice.
I have to do sale bill because this uncle won't give you invoice. Okay? If I buy from China, would the China give you the invoice to ISDN or not? China also won't do, because the Taobao will not send the e-invoice to ISDN. You see? So when you buy the thing from overseas, you have to bear in mind, overseas supplier never send the invoice to ISDN. And that is very important because that is your cost, you see? So when Lazada tell ISDN what is my income, I also have to tell ISDN what is my cost, so that my profit will less. If not, they think, oh, you make a lot of money. You see, they just look at their income. So you have to submit your cost. Okay, now, if you buy from a Malaysian wholesales, they give you e-invoice. You make sure you get the e-invoice from them, regardless whether you have 500,000 or not.
Or means that you're a small seller or never ever declare tax, or even whatever, no sales also, you make sure you collect all your e-invoices.
Oh, invoice, yes. Because income tax, they trace 7 years back, You have no sale, okay. Then suddenly next year you sales, tomorrow you hit 500,000, how you know? You cannot, when you hit 500,000, start to call back your supplier, give me invoice for last few months. Where got?
I thought is it true that they will only give within 30 days? After 30 days, they won't charge you anymore. They will not lie.
30 days. 30 mean by 30 days like that. E-invoice, no such thing called 30 days. You see not? Invoice means invoice, Invoice, you come in, you keep it for 20 years also, you have filed it for income tax purpose. Now 30 days is just the data in my invoice portal. My invoice portal, they keep 30 days for you to view because they have a few 100 million of e-invoice. So their server will very jam up if they keep for you to view. So after the 30 days, the data was sent to Malacca. You see, now all your submit e-invoice, they're sent to Cyberjaya. So they have a data center, my portal. After the 30 days, the data go to another server. So one server is for you to interact with customer, you view it faster. Then they archive it, the archive to the server. So Theoretical, even 5 years later, you're still able to find your invoice to RSDN. Their database is still there. It's not 30 days. They are kept there forever. So only 30 days for you to view. But that is not important because Lazada will give you the e-invoice. They will email to you. Am I right? You are not download the e-invoice from portal. You are receiving the invoice from Lazada through email. So once you got email, you keep it.
Okay, let's say we bought it on the 1st. And then after 30 plus days, like almost 40 days, then you say, "Ayo, I forgot to see my email or how." Then I went in, still can download or not? If from the email,
Still can. Because you remember again, the e-invoice is not from government. Government only give you a notification, notify you. The actual invoice is from the supplier or your agent or e-commerce company. Government only notify you got e-invoice, and then government e-invoice is a summary in the sense that don't have the logo, letterhead, these sort of things. You will receive the invoice for ISDN may download. No. ISDN, there's no invoice for you to download from ISDN. No such thing. It's just a notification only. Because ISDN don't have a company letterhead from Lazada. Where could keep so many? You have to clear this. So government transaction 30 days is just a notification, a summary only. Proof the invoice already sampai to their server. The actual invoice, you see, it's a business. When 100,000, I just form a new company. Government don't have my info, whatever, doesn't matter. I still need a document for my account. You see, according to Malaysia Act, if you do the business today, this month, then you start to form a company first, am I right? You have to form a company, you have to do the accounting record, then you have to submit the account 1 year later. That is our act, That's our financial act, That's your job also, So I'm talking about two things here, You have to think it's like that. You from positive point of view, good thing, Good thing actually e-invoice is forcing everyone serious to look at their business. If you want to do a business, start to have e-commerce, you think you will have a grow one day, become a big business. You start small, no problem. But when you start small, you keep your account proper, right? You don't wait until when your business big, then you start to do accounting. That is not a proper method. So what I try to say like this, not so much about the 500,000, 200,000 if you do e-commerce. If you're pasar malam, a different thing. You have a retail business, you can start to register e-commerce, follow the threshold, 500,000, because eventually everyone will involve one. It's not 500,000. They are temporary say, okay, 500,000 maybe 2027 because election is coming. After 2027, I'll tell you everyone need to do one.
Okay, maybe I recap for the China seller part because I think more than
you have to do self-bill, yes.
Yeah, maybe I recap, then you'll see correct or not. Okay. So for those people, e-commerce sellers, Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, who are selling on Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, and then buying from China using the Taigo or whatever money changer or whatever, right? So number one is when you all bring in the goods, you need to self-bill e-invoice, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then number two, custom declaration. I know that let's say if you buy 100,000 stock, a lot of people they will declare 50,000 or 20,000. Okay, but then now need to be very clear already. Very careful. Okay, so don't under declare because government also will know, correct?
You don't under declare because you need a K1 form. Because the ISDN, the e-invoice, you are submit to two departments, ISDN and Royal Custom. Both they get the info. So I recap is like this. If you are turnover less than 500,000, or depends the threshold, let's say it's 5 million, July is 5 million. So if you are below 5 million, this July, you no need to do any sale bill. You no need to do sale bill, okay? 5 million to 500,000 is January next year. January next year, then you start to do sale bill. So if I'm the e-commerce, actually I follow the threshold for the sale bill purpose. But the income, sorry, you don't do anything, government also know your income already.
Yeah, because for the custom declaration, let's say you declare less, then your means your cost of goods become cheaper. Then means you need to pay more income tax, right? But then if you declare ngam, then you will need to match lah, right? The self bill and also
This
the
depends. Okay, you look at the custom. If your custom, you're not direct import the goods. You go through third party, they don't know. You see, if for example, if I just buy 2,000 ringgit to Taobao, actually they don't know because the container is coming in K1 form registered for one container. And this container, they are bulk declare. You see, they declare one container. So one container is so many items inside. So quite difficult for them to reconcile. But if you have a 100,000 goods, for example, definitely they know. Because the big volume, you have to declare the K1 form individual for you and then put your merchant imported in. So if you have a K1 form under your name, then definitely they will know already. There's not only K1 form, there's so many forms in the customer. You understand or not? If the import is to the third party, then depends that third party bill you or not.
The one question from Brian. Brian say, Woodland custom how? he drive the car from Singapore drive to Malaysia.
It's like that. No, you see, if your goods are coming from Woodland, do you declare in Malaysia or not? You see, Singapore don't bother whether declare in the Woodland. Now it's talking about JB custom. Yeah, JB custom. If they declare, they will keep your record in their custom records. They can reconcile So if you don't declare, nobody will know Customer also don't know. So what I mean is your declaration, and then your declaration under your company name or not. Let's say I imported good, but I don't use my soft, I use third party to declare coming. Of course, they cannot reconcile in this case. But if my soft is declared, then I declare invoice, then the possibility they're able to reconcile these two things.
Okay, for those who are here, right, we are streaming from LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. So those who want to ask anything, just ask. Mr. Low is a very, very experienced e-invoice expert in Malaysia. Okay, just ask. No, if somebody asking, can they ask question? Just ask, no problem.
Because sometimes I know the story of e-invoice also because we launching when Malaysia announced the e-invoice. Before the announced invoice, we already start meeting with customer already. We have a meeting with RSDN, we're meeting with MDEX as a software house. So before they declare, in fact, 2019, we already start meeting with government on e-invoice already. Yeah. So we know the story before they announce to the public on this. Okay,
while waiting for question, right? Okay, what happens in those, right? Okay, now July, right? The Lazada, Shopee, TikTok force everybody need to declare already, even TikTok. Okay.
Declare or they want PIN, just declare.
Yeah, and the PIN number. So right now, right? What happens to those who didn't declare like 100%? All along they simply declare, or they have never ever declared before.
No, I don't know what's the turnover of them. You see,
so what should they do now? I mean, of course they know that it's not right, but moving forward, they're panicking, okay? What the steps they should do now?
No, what I mean is you see, you look at income tax point of view. Let's say I have run the business for 2 years. Then I start to register a TIN number. Yeah. In fact, government don't know your last 2 years income and profit also. You see, because there's no e-invoice, how they know how much you sell in Lazada? In that sense, RSDN don't know. You see, unless RSDN go to the Lazada and say, hey, show me all your record the last 2 years to your customer, then they will know. I did a job for NASA at that time in the NASA world. Well, ISDN officer always go to the NASA and ask them, hey, give me a list of buyer of your BMW and Mercedes. They want to check. So I try to say, you have to think from our government point of view. If last 2 years I do a lot of business, I don't declare. Now I start to declare because of Lazada need the team. I register a company. In fact, ISDN don't know your income for last 2 years also. They also don't know. So what to worry about?
Okay, got one question,
No
right?
need to worry. And then you see the government have another scheme where if you under declare, you can self-declare. You just pay penalty a bit. Means what? No, government not so worried about the past history now from ISDN point of view. Not so much. Then unless you are the big business because they know how much your turnover. Let's say I have a 10 million sales every year, never declare. Then we'll look after you lah. If you are only 500,000 every year, they don't declare. They're not so bothered.
So then those people who have let's say 500,000 per year, actually just 1 month, how much? Like 20,000, a lot already. So for let's say they have been very naughty lah. So do you think they should go and self-declare?
But self-declare is over already, Like you have to wait for another year, open up. They haven't declare. Every year they have a self-declare, less penalty. But for me, no need lah. No need. No need to do anything lah. Don't worry about that lah. Don't worry about it. Because ISDN is not really that strict on this sort of thing. Because you say your thing point of view, sale doesn't mean your profit, am I right? So they spend a lot of.
Doesn't mean
I'll tell you ISDN how it works. ISDN is like that. They have a few team one. Even their team doing the sole prop, not the team doing the Sandal Bahat, different team. And then they got KPI. So if I hit the KPI, I close my notebook, I holiday already. You see? So there's a cost to them. If they want to audit you and they think they only can make 5,000, they will think no hope doing already. Because their cost is high, their staff also got KPI cannot hit. That's why they always look for those companies where they can earn a lot of tax when they audit you. I mean, from business point of view. So come back to here. If you think you are small, your business not so big, why the ISDN will look for you and come and ask you this sort of things? You see not? And when they come, you see some even say, no problem lah. I just said this is my mistake lah. Give me 5,000, 4,000, then they are happy and go already. So sometimes it's like that, no. If you are small, you don't have those two worries. If you make 100 million and million of profit, and then you don't pay income tax, then you need to worry. It's like that. So it's like that. From ISDN, because I with the officer, always with the officer, you have to think now and future. That's more important. Because when they are talking about E-invoice, they are talking now and future. And the E-invoice mechanism is not this 2 year will complete the exercise. No. This 2 year data is not complete one. Because some start, some not start. So the complete could be 3 years later. So what we think is it's a good thing to starting point. I also advise my client, history one, you don't need to worry at all. You're talking about now and the future. If you do account proper, keep the account proper, not just for income tax purpose, from business also good. Am I right? If you want to get a loan from the bank, also look at your P&L, am I right? Why if you want to get a loan from anyone, say how to show your profit, you never have the record of your profit, then your business is also no good already in the sense. Yeah. So always important come back here is the cost. It's the cost. If you don't do the sale bill, these sort of things, your profit is high. Then you have to pay income tax. So you do a proper account, they declare your income. The income already declared by the e-commerce. So your important is declare your expenses already. Make sure all your expenses can come in. Especially you buy from overseas. Am I right? Your overseas bill coming in. If you do sale bill, it's good. If not, you proper keep your bill. Because come back to here, all the expense, there's two things. If E-invoice, you have to know. Without E-invoice, can I declare as expenses or not? Yes, you still can declare the expenses. But the only thing is when they come and audit, you need to show. If got e-invoice, also doesn't mean it's your expenses.
Okay.
You get me now? Something is not belong because the expenses you declare in income is what? Is related to your sales. Let's say now you buy something, you buy a TV. You buy a TV, you request e-invoice. But the TV you put at home for your wife, is not in your company. So end of the day, even you got the e-invoice, that TV also not your expenses, also not your asset. It's same thing. So end of the day, e-invoice is just an audit procedure. It's not a tax system. It's just an audit procedure only. Make
And
it
then,
more
previously, right? Let's say, for personal income tax, the phone and the tablet can declare, then deduct, correct? So, let's say the same tablet, they go and deduct for personal, and then also for claim under company. So now with new e-invoice cannot already,
I cannot be lah. It's not cannot. If you do it, easy to be found out lah. I can say lah. You still can do the same thing without e-invoice. You do it, then government say, how come your value not tied with my e-invoice? They come and audit you, and then you will find out. You see, income tax is like that, Anything also you can declare as long as they don't come and audit you. Am I right? They don't go there check you, everything also self-declare one, But when I check you, they find out, not right idea, like that.
Okay, this is a question. So now for Lazada, Shopee, TikTok, the e-invoice for the commission fee, all the fee, S fee, right? They're asking, so I just download and keep all the invoice, but do not need to keep in my tax portal.
What my advice is, you keep all the invoices because P&L are based on invoice, based on the sale bill, based on the invoice you issue out, based on your invoice receipt from supplier. That's very important. Yeah, very important. So you keep all the documents, whether e-invoice or not, you still do a proper filing. Then after that, you register a company, do proper account and submit your income tax. This is what RSDN want. Because RSDN try to come up a mechanism to encourage everyone register a company, pay income tax. If you got profit, you will submit them, right? But you think with the, not talking about e-invoice, we're talking about AI. When AI come in, it's much easier for RSDN to know your company make business or not. When AI come in, they don't just look at your data. They are look at the data of whole Malaysia. What I try to say, if you are the cafe in Cyberjaya, you can last for 6 years, for example. Even you don't declare any income or expenses, the big data AI from ICE, then they should estimate how much you can make money. You understand? Because they have the data, they know what is the buying power of Cyberjaya. If you can rent, how much the rental in Cyberjaya, what is the worker, all can be forecast by the AI. So you think from that point of view, if this AI is so powerful, you cannot run away income tax if you don't do anything. Am I right? They will estimate how much your income based on other submit income. For example, KK Mark, Speed 99, they sure submit their income tax. They sure got the data for each of the income of each of the branch. Am I right? So from government point of view, somebody is submit account accordingly. You do the same mini market in Cyberjaya, you don't submit accordingly. They should forecast what is your income and expenses also.
Or projected because based on the same.
Because they have the big data from the e-invoice. They talk about what? E-commerce already collected 400 million of the e-invoice already.
Okay.
Just do accordingly, nothing to worry. Just do accordingly.
Okay, guys, any more last questions, right? Because we will end in 5 minutes. But before we end, right, I want to ask Mr. Lau one question. It's like a lot of my students, most of them are Lazada, Shopee, TikTok sellers. It's like they now are asking, it's like, let's say they also sell like a bit of a walk-in customer, a bit to the agent. So they will just issue a little bit invoice, right? But now with the e-invoice after July, and let's say they are above 500,000 threshold, or even next year, they want to do January, right?
July, 500,000 is
Next year.
July 2026. July
July
26.
2026. Delay
Because
1
now,
year.
July this year is 500,000, no, 5 million to 25 million. January next year is below 5 million one. Below 5 million.
Oh, I
1
changed
million to 5
already.
million.
The
Now
government extended already.
the latest one, they break to more phase already. But somehow you have to do it lah, either early or late only. Early or late only. But come back to here, if your turnover, let's say you are below 500,000 in 2022, then in 2026 July, you have to issue e-invoice to your customer. Yeah, you have to start to do already lah. You have to start to do e-invoice.
But let's say
right
now,
and sell outside.
let's say right now, right? Okay, let's say that a company that is 500 to 1 million per year, and then they got like an agent. I mean now now they're selling Lazada, Shopee, TikTok lah. But then let's say they sell like walk-in customer or even agent.
They have to.
Need to issue invoice.
It depends. If they have a walk-in customer come in, let's say I have to start e-invoice. Yeah, start the invoice. If the customer requests, if the customer is business, you have to issue e-invoice. If your goods sell is more than 10,000 per transaction, you have to issue invoice. If less than 10,000 per transaction, it depends your customer request or not. If a customer request, I issue. If they don't request, I do a console e-invoice end of the month submit.
So, but the 500 to 1 million is 2026 July onwards, delay 1 year, right? Okay. Okay. So now but then let's say they got like 1 month got a few walk-in and then agent and then they want to do e-invoice, right? So does every seller now need to have a accounting system? That's my question. A lot of people ask me.
It's not that need accounting system. That depends on volume. Yeah. If you only 1 or 2 transactions, you can go to my invoice portal and just submit manually. Yeah. It's small volume, but it's not so convenient. You see, the accounting system, not because of the e-invoice. Accounting system because you want to keep track your account. Is it not? And then, is it good to keep track account? Because you do a business, So if I advise my client whether government got e-invoice or not, you should register a company, do a proper accounting, and understand the meaning of accounting. That's important. That's a business, am I right? If we're talking about all the big business start with small business, and you have to know the accounting knowledge and what is a profit. If you do the business, you'll not even know what is the definition of profit. Then your business, how far you can go. You see now, that's what they call it. They call it accounting knowledge for non-accountant, right? If you are the boss, you are the non-accountant, you should have accounting knowledge. Yeah, that's a requirement to a successful business. So if you're a small business, you should acquire this sort of knowledge. Yeah, apart of sales marketing knowledge, you also should have accounting knowledge. That is very important, very, very important. I give you another story. I met the DG of the many years ago agriculture, Minister of Agriculture. They have a scheme to help 7,000 of agriculture farmer do business. Many failure. Then he talked to me, the DG said, why? I said, because they don't have the knowledge of business and accounting. If you say this farmer, you give them 2 million, help you to do business. They not even know the concept of business definition, balance sheet, and P&L also they don't know. How you expected they make profit? Because they not even know the meaning of profit, meaning of cash flow, is it not? So they look at the bank, wow, a lot of money, government give me 2 million, I just spend it. So the business finished, They don't have to have a debtor list, how to chase money from their customer. They don't have the cash flow management. So it's not the cash thing, you see, come back, government always help the small farmer, but failure a lot because the farmer don't have the knowledge in business and accounting. So what I try to say, in accounting, is not you want to fulfill government tax. It's something you have a knowledge if you want to set up a business. You agree or not? Am I right? You agree or not? It is a fundamental knowledge. So, of course, government say, hey, run e-invoice, this force you to buy a system, do a proper account. Actually, it's a good thing. Am I right? So that you can look at your profit now. Like me, I can look at my profit in the first month I do business 25 years old because all the P&L still in my same system. So anytime I can trace back 25 years how my business grew for last 25 years. Is data is there. If you don't have a proper recording, few years later you also don't know already. You cannot remember how you can remember so many things. So everything keep inside the system. So accounting software sometimes is benefit not because of e-invoice. It's because you want to run a business.
Okay, last part, now it's 9:30 already. Okay, those who want to ask us, but let's do a bit, since Mr. Lau is here, right? Talk about your MySoft. Okay, actually, I met Mr. Lau, right, during MySoft e-invoice class. Okay, so I was there because we need to learn up the new system. We upgraded the normal one to the e-invoice one. But I'm very interested to know about the reconciliation feature in this MySoft. That is still under development, I still beta, right?
Bank reconciliation is very important. You see,
no, the one that the e-invoice one. Remember, you all got one in development, remember? That use the AI.
I got reconciliation for e-invoice.
Yeah.
We also need the reconciliation for the bank reconciliation. Now, what I did is, for example, I need to reconcile two things. For example, Grab. Because Grab will give you the payment. And Grab also give me the sale bill. So I need to reconcile these two things. What happened? Grab wrong, Let's say, you see, I'm a restaurant. I throw the Grab, I sell a lot of Grab food. How to make sure Grab give me the money is accurate. So reconciliation, two things, the bank reconciliation and e-invoice reconciliation. So e-invoice reconciliation means what? ISDN have a set of data of you in their server. We can download, and you have to reconcile again your actual accounting, whether there's a mistake there or not. You don't assume everything in government side is accurate. For example, some supplier wrongly send you the bill to RSDN. So wrong already, he sent to RSDN. He thinks something wrong, then he don't give it to you. So you don't know. So your transaction appear in RSDN. For example, Lazada might send a wrong sale bill to RSDN and over-declare your income. How you know? Are you going to check to RSDN every day, manual check or not? Not. So if you have an accounting software with e-invoice reconciliation, the system will automatically download from RSDN all the invoice in and out, keep inside the RSDN with download. And when you submit the account, because your submit account is 1 year later, so every time you submit the account, the system do a checking. Tell you your account you submit. For example, you submit profit 100,000, but RSDN figure said your profit is 200,000. So you must know what is the difference here. It's not, and that is called reconciliation.
This okay, let's say let's say in January there are like 4 e-invoice sell bill from Shopee. Okay, so Shopee, let's say 20,000, 80,000. But then end up that we do the bank in value is actually just 50,000. So
then you still have balance there, no?
So your MySoft software can check your bank statement and then the
how much balance from Lazada? Yes.
So we start now. So
the maybe you pay you later. So you have to send. I tell you what, the first e-invoice I received from Dell computer, so big, also give me the wrong e-invoice.
Ayo.
Dell, no. Surprise on Dell Global. I buy a notebook online, 2006. But the invoice they submit to government is wrong. They put the value 0 value. I spent 2006. They put 0 value, no. So you don't expect that now Lazada do the right sometime. Maybe they also got mistake there. So reconciliation is checking if any mistake or not. So come back to our software. I'm talking about introduce my software. We are accounting software. Accounting system for the small startup to a very large listed company. Yeah, I support those company below $500,000 to a company 2 billion turnover. You see, no big one. Yeah, even I do invoice for the Sapura group, big turnover. Yeah, one invoice 20 million. No, one invoice 20 million. I also have a customer, one invoice 20 ringgit. So it doesn't matter. Accounting is the same. The principle of accounting concept actually is the same. Right? The way you do a small business actually is same as exactly you do a big business. Actually, it's the same. You still have to look at P&L, balance sheet, cash flow, asset, this is the same. So my advice is no matter what software, quite good in the market now is the software. If you want to start a business, you should buy accounting software, not expensive. Am I right? And learn accounting thing, especially you are one man. You not really need accountant to do the job because a lot of transactions you can download here, download there. It's all manage your own business. One man show also doesn't matter. If you have one man show, actually more important to have a system. Am I right? Because they will take care of you. And then now the system built in a lot of AI. So the AI will help you to analyze these sort of things.
Can you just give us a good AI feature that is up and coming in MySoft that you think is very useful for us, especially?
Now the AI is we can take the picture. For example, staff claim, any handwritten. For example, you have a supply bill is manual written, manual one. So you take the picture of a supply invoice. The system also will rate the manual written bill and automatically post to account. And another good feature of AI is your accounting is quite weak. You don't know which GL code to choose. The AI will suggest for this bill should go to which type of account. So the AI is an accountant already. Am I right? Just you take a picture of your medical records. Or they analyze, or your high blood pressure, your sugar, everything they analyze for you. And that's how the AI can do the deal. AI will take over accountant job.
Ayo.
This is really because I have a client, I support a customer, and this customer have nearly 1,000 accountants because they're a big audit firm. The director of the company also asked the same question. You think AI will take over all the accounting job or not? I think it will take over accounting job, take over audit job. Not so soon. That's what their minister announced at my last few days. Said so many jobs will be taken over by AI. And so many jobs will come in. Just like look at taxi driver. You know how many taxi driver take over because of GPS. The invention of GPS will come in the Grab. You see, without GPS, you no Grab. When the Grab come in, the traditional taxi driver replaced by So, but you look at that point of view, is positive, because how many taxi drivers we have? Maybe 20,000. How many Grab drivers we have? Maybe 100,000 also have. Something like that. In that sense, they also create more job. But the job is not that job anymore. You see? So it changed. So if accountant cannot be accountant, he can do something else. Something else. But with the AI come in, you don't have to pay 6,000 for a financial controller. That AI also will advise you. Now we are talking about posting data. A big thing of the AI is the analysis. Let's say you have a cash flow financial report, P&L. AI will advise you what to do.
Okay, I want to ask back.
How to improve your sales, improve your marketing.
Okay, example for MySoft, right? The reconciliation from E-invoice, right? Let's say I'm already a paid subscriber for your program, right? So let's say the Lazada they say okay, Shopee or TikTok they say self bill 1 month, let's say 100,000. So now do I still need to key it into the MySoft system? Just press accept.
You don't have to key in. The system will automatically download already.
And then I just press accept, right?
You just check only. You accept or you reject. You think something wrong, not right, then you reject it. You can reject it. Reject, they inform the Lazada. You from Microsoft, you reject, Lazada will get a signal. Say this has been rejected. So if you don't reject, you post to our account, the data will go to the customer, because Lazada is your customer. So customer means still bill is your income, and the payment is the collection.
So I don't need to manually key in anymore?
No need. The whole thing of the e-invoice, we go to digitalization. Digitalization means you don't have to rekey in.
Okay, so that's why I think I like myself because got a lot of the new AI features all coming up and very convenient.
Very convenient. Especially e-wallet. The other day I showed one of my client, he got the bank statement 500 pages. Bank statement, because a lot of e-wallet, 50 ringgit, 10 ringgit, 20 ringgit. We also use the AI to process it, half an hour, process the 500 pages. If he compare, he do a manual key in, he take 5 days to key in, get the full-time staff 5 days to key in, 500 pages of the bank statement.
So now myself can process, let's say I've got the manual bank statement from the our bank, let's say from Hong Kong, whatever, right? So let's say I got 5 pages. So then we just scan into the Microsoft, then they can...
You don't need to scan, because normally the bank statement is PDF you download.
Okay.
If a hard copy, you just take the picture.
Okay.
If your soft copy is PDF, you just upload. Then the system will do all kind of checking for you.
For the current one, is already live, this feature in Microsoft?
I start testing with a few customer now, a few cases. Beta, because we have the different bank, format a bit different. Some of the banks show debit credit, some of the bank for in and out money, some payment. So different banks have a different format. But very soon we'll release to everyone these sort of things.
Okay, very good.
Important. But if you are, you see, if you have 10, 20 pages are small, it's not bad. Yeah. But if you have few hundred pages, then you think how good this AI can help you. Why a few hundred pages? Because they use a lot of e-wallet. And e-wallet also another issue. If you do a small business, a lot of e-wallet in and out. Small transaction. For example, if you open your e-commerce not through Lazada, you have the old shop. Sure, customer bank in the money to you, e-wallet transfer. Am I right? That means that you have a lot of transaction in your bank. Unless your item very big, a few thousand one item. If you're selling small item, end up on your bank transaction so huge in your bank. That's why system is very good. I come back to you. Whether it's good to buy accounting software or not. Now, I don't talk about my software, any system. Because the value of accounting software now is very high with the AI coming in. Last time, the system is, you got a system, cannot do anything. You have to get a staff, no accounting knowledge, you key in, then get the result, am I right? But when I come in, this software become intelligent system. They are so intelligent. Then you think one day your accountant also no need already.
Accountant also no need to hire so many accountant also.
No need. Definitely no need. Many. That's why the AI come in this year. Changed a lot. Really changed a lot.
Well, it sounds very interesting. So I will think for the future. I think we should add this already. We are over time already. Okay. So for those, just let me have a last word. Okay, for those who have any e-commerce inquiries, they can Okay, you can just post. For those who are watching this on replay, right? Just put it in the comments. Then I'll forward
you can forward the question to me in the future. Yes. I can answer to you, then you can answer to them.
Yes. Just for those who, I'm sure a lot were watching on the replay, just put it on the comments and I will forward to Mr. Lau and he will answer you guys. Okay. And for his software name is MySoft. Okay, MySoft. Okay, so that's it for now. Okay, so bye-bye everybody. Mr. Lau, you stay back for a while. I will end the live, but then I'll just talk to you for a while. Okay.